Picture this incredibly frustrating scenario. You just dropped serious cash on a shiny new wedge, and you're thinking, yes, this is it, the magical fix for my short game. But fast forward 3 months, and you're either completely handcuffed by a club you've already outgrown, or worse, you're getting brutally punished by a club you just aren't ready for.
Spot on, Jake. Today we're looking at Cleveland's 2 heavyweights for the average golfer, the CBX Full Face and the Smart Sole. Pick wrong and it is literal money down the drain. Choose correctly though and your scores are going to plummet.
So ask yourself right now, are you picking a wedge based on your actual real-life miss? Or are you just buying into the marketing hype? Welcome to Golf Gear Showdown. We put golf gear head-to-head so everyday golfers like you can stop wasting money and start playing the right equipment. I'm Mike, your resident data and specs guy. And I'm Jake, your everyday 15 handicapper. We're here to make sure you play the right gear for your game, not your scratch golfer buddy's game, yours. All right, here's the fight card for today's showdown. We'll hit the matchup setup, then move into turf, bunkers, and forgiveness. After that, we've got control and player confidence, price and overall value, the ultimate golfer fit, and finally, the verdict. And listen, pay close attention when we hit round 3 because we're going to reveal a hard truth about wedge spin that most golfers completely misunderstand.
Okay, let's jump right into section 1, the matchup setup, and why golfers compare these two. So Cleveland essentially owns the forgiving wedge conversation here in the USA. If you're an American golfer looking for an easier short game, you are almost inevitably forced to choose between these two highly popular models. Just imagine standing in the pro shop right now. In one hand, you're holding the Smart Sole. It's got this massive, extra-wide bottom that looks, honestly, virtually chunk-proof. In the other hand, you've got the CBX Full Face staring back at you, sporting a more versatile, traditional look and those full-face grooves just begging to spin the ball. Both of these target beginners and mid-handicappers, yet they are built completely differently. It is incredibly confusing for a regular guy to know which one actually belongs in the back.
Moving to section 2, turf, bunkers, and forgiveness, which covers our round 1 and 2 performance. Now for wedges, the main event isn't distance, it's what happens when the club actually meets the ground. Round 1 is all about turf interaction. Based on design intent, the Smart Sole takes an early lead here. Its entire identity is that huge multi-level sole. It simply refuses to dig. If you hit slightly behind the ball, it just skips right through instead of stabbing into the earth. So for turf and bunker performance, the Smart Sole is the clear winner if your usual miss is fat contact.
Let's talk forgiveness for round 2, because that word means 2 entirely different things with these clubs. The Smart Sole provides turf forgiveness. It literally forgives your swing. If you have a bad low point, or maybe a really scoopy, wristy motion, the sole design bails you out at the ground level, well before the club even hits the ball. Exactly. Now on the flip side, the CBX Full Face provides face forgiveness. It bails out a poor strike. Its cavity back build and full face grooves stabilize mishits on the club face itself. If you open the blade and strike it way out toward the toe, the club still grabs the golf ball. So who actually wins round 2? Well, common feedback suggests that high handicappers typically miss with the ground before they ever miss with the face. If chunks and skulls are ruining your round, the Smart Sole takes round 2 for beginners. But if you're a decent ball striker and your misses live on the face, the CBX quietly takes this one. Okay, that brings us to a massive question to rehook you here. What does round 3 reveal about wedge spin that most golfers completely miss? We all watch the pros zip the ball back on TV, right? But ask yourself truthfully, do you actually have the skill and contact quality to utilize the spin you're paying for in a premium wedge?
Section 3, control and player confidence. This covers round 3 and 4 accuracy and feel.
Look, I'm going to aggressively push back on the data here, Mike. From the perspective of an everyday 15 handicapper like me, the Smart Sole's one-trick predictability is exactly what we need. Square face, simple stroke, predictable pop-out and roll. Playable consistency beats pretty spin every single time for a high handicapper. We don't need 5 fancy shots, we just need the damn ball on the green.
I hear you, Jake, I really do. But if a golfer makes solid contact, that single trick is incredibly limiting. The CBX Full Face represents untapped shot potential. It's built for low checkers, standard pitches, and high soft shots. You have to reward good strikes. For superior accuracy, spin control, and genuine score-lowering variety for players who can actually strike the ball consistently, I am forcing the round 3 win to the CBX Full Face.
Okay, fair enough. Let's move to round 4, which is all about feel and confidence. This really brings in the psychological side of golf. I'll admit it, sitting behind the ball, the Smart Sole is chunky.
The shape is highly unconventional. Let's be brutally honest, to some guys, it looks like a training aid. If you care about looking like a traditional golfer, it might bug you every time you pull it from the bag. The CBX looks like a real sleek wedge, so it easily wins on looks. But confidence? I'm calling that a dead tie. Because if you are a chronic chunker, absolutely nothing feels better than knowing your clubs simply will not dig into the turf.
So, what is the smart shopper move when buying wedges that actually saves you money long term? Most budget-conscious golfers get this insider pricing strategy entirely backwards.
Section 4. Price and overall value. This is the round 5 budget battle.
If you just need the short game bleeding to stop right now, the Smart Sole is the clear winner for pure immediate improvement per dollar. It delivers results instantly. Plus, it historically sits at a lower price point up front, so buying it feels like a huge win for your wallet today. But purchasing the CBX Full Face is often the real smart shopper move. The crucial point here is the difference between immediate relief and future growth. If your game is steadily improving, paying slightly more for the CBX now saves you from having to buy a whole new set of wedges next year. I am giving the long-term value win to the CBX Full Face. It's an investment you won't outgrow in a single season.
All right, we've covered the performance, the looks, and the price, but the only question that actually matters is this. Which wedge is perfectly built for your specific handicap and your exact miss? Stay locked in because we're about to definitively assign these clubs to your precise golfer profile.
Section 5. The Ultimate Golfer Fit. Round 6 Winner Assignments. Based on design intent, we are rapidly breaking down exactly which club wins out for every specific player on the course. Total beginners, Smart Sole is your definitive winner. Mid-handicappers shooting in the 80s or low 90s, the CBX Full Face is your champion. High handicappers who chunk and skull constantly, go Smart Sole. Players who actually want spin, check, and shot versatility, CBX Full Face. You've earned the shot options, so use them. Seniors with slower swing speeds, budget buyers, or guys who are flat-out bunker phobic, the Smart Sole attacks your exact miss and does all the hard work for you.
Before we wrap, I want to share some insider advice. Buy for the golfer you are this season, not the golfer on TV. This is the biggest buying mistake we see over and over. So many golfers watch better players spin wedges and they buy a tour-style club entirely based on ego, completely ignoring that their actual real-life miss is a 2-inch chunk. You're probably sitting there thinking, yep, I almost did that. Or, conversely, some buy the Smart Sole because it sounds easy, only to feel handcuffed 6 months later. You gotta be totally honest about your game right now.
Finally, Section 6. Final Verdict. And mistakes, pros, cons, and the ultimate winner.
Here is the brutal reality check without any brand protection. The pros of the Smart Sole are obvious. It is incredibly hard to chunk, and it builds genuine confidence. But the cons? It is limited shot variety, very modest spin, and a chunky look. You absolutely can outgrow it. And for the CBX Full Face, the benefits include real spin, traditional looks, and plenty of room to grow as a player. However, the harsh reality is this club absolutely will not rescue a badly chunked chip the way the Smart Sole will. It forgives your strike, not your swing. Neither wedge is perfect, which is exactly why they're in this showdown.
Time for the judges' scorecards. Best overall for the widest range of average golfers without a ceiling, the CBX Full Face takes it. Best for mid-handicaps, CBX again.
But best for pure forgiveness and beginners, the Smart Sole wins by absolute knockout. The rule of thumb here, skip the Smart Sole if you'd like to open the face, but skip the CBX if you're still fighting chunks.
Ultimately, pick the tool that fixes your biggest flaw and watch your scores drop.
Now it's your turn to score the fight. Jump into the comments right now and tell me what is your exact handicap, is your usual miss the chunk or the skull, and which of these two wedges is your showdown pick.
Seriously, your comments actually help us pick our next matchups, like our upcoming driver distance battle. If this head-to-head breakdown helped you make a smarter buying decision, hit that subscribe button for more golf gear showdowns. Are you ready to stop letting your ego choose your clubs, or are you going to keep chunking away your money?